So what should you talk about? If you are new to speaking or you've been speaking for a while, one of the topics I keep getting asked is, what should I talk about? Well, keep it simple. That's my number one rule. Keep it simple. Talk about what you know. What is your expertise? And then we can find a particular topic in your niche that you can talk about. But I want to share with you a couple of tips that I use when I'm asked to come up and speak where I haven't actually prepared anything. So the first one is, if you're going to speak about something, make sure it's relevant. Right now, at the time of this recording, the whole world is on lockdown. We have the COVID-19 coronavirus hit. And a lot of speaking engagements have been cancelled. So a lot of speakers are now wondering what they should do. And my clients, I've advised them to go more online and start building up an online presence ready for when the COVID finishes. But speaking on a relevant topic that's happening in the world today, how does your niche fit in with that relevant topic? How can you help people in your niche with what's going on that's relevant at that moment in time? The other one that leads on quite nicely is, what problems do you solve? Rather than talking about what is it that you do, or what is it your product or service does, why don't you turn that around as to what problem you solve? What problem are they not aware of? So people would often ask me when we're writing best-selling books, my clients would say, well, what shall I write about? Well, I use what we call the FAQ and the SAQ principle, and that is to talk about the frequently asked questions and the should ask questions. The frequently asked questions are questions which most of our clients would ask. You know, what should I do here? What should I do there? But as experts, what we also know is that more often than not, they ask the wrong question. You know, how many times have you felt yourself say, oh, that's the wrong question, dude, you should be asking this? Then answer that. What are the should ask questions that they should be asking that you can answer? That is a problem that you can solve. How about a promise? Can you talk about a particular promise that your product, your service can offer? What is the end result that they might get? So again, you can talk about a problem, but you can also talk about a particular promise that they might get. Time sensitive. So when you're talking about a particular topic, in order to engage people at a much higher level, try and put some kind of time scale on it, that it's relevant right now. So it's not something which may occur sometime in the future. You're talking about this affects you right now. If you do this, you will benefit from this right now. If you don't do this now, you will end up with this. You know, and that's great in the medical field or the financial services field. Whereas you can say, if you don't take out this policy, then this will happen. Or if you don't start exercising now, you're going to end up 500 pound overweight and, you know, carry the risk of a severe heart attack. So if you can put a time limit on your presentation, it keeps that audience engaged. Curiosity, that's another one. What can you do to spark curiosity? What is the conversation going on there where they think, oh, I never thought of that? Have you got a unique angle that you can come with? If you can just, everyone loves stories, and stories ever since we were children. And I'm no doubt you remember you as a child. Maybe someone were reading to you at the end of the day, maybe a bedtime story. Maybe you have bedtime stories for your children. But just that curiosity of what happens next, what's going to happen now. So if you can spark that curiosity in someone and get their creative juices going for themselves, you'll also have them engaged. But most importantly, I would say, whatever you speak about it, make sure it's easily understood. And I mean this in the nicest possible way. Some people are just stupid, and you have to make it so simple for them. Now, it's always far better to make things overly simple than overly difficult. More people will engage and interact with you when it's overly simple than if it's overly complicated, because people don't want to feel stupid. So if they don't understand, very rarely will they tell you they don't understand and then ask questions. Whereas if you can make it overly simple, it gives them an opportunity then to say, hey, but what about this and what about that? It allows them to join into that conversation with you, and allows them to be involved in the presentation, even if it's not from a verbal perspective, but from a mental perspective. So, hope that's helped. If you've got any more questions, drop me a line. If you need to know, if anything is going on in your head, how do I do this when it comes to speaking? How do I do that when it comes to presentation? How do I build my business via speaking or presentations on or offline? Drop me a message, drop me a line. I'd either answer them directly to you or I'll do another video like this so that everyone in our arena can benefit. So until then, keep talking, keep spreading the word, keep making an impact, and I'll speak to you soon.